This week on The Bachelor.
Is that a new girl?
Wait, a new girl?
Hi.
Is that his ex-girlfriend?
Who is this person? Why are you here? She means business. She's here for a reason.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the. We're going to be talking about The Bachelor Season 29, the premiere. Let's get right into this. Yo, you guys, hashtag Bachelor Nation. It is so good for The Bachelor to be back. We covered The Bachelorette, which ended back in September. It's crazy to think that we are now almost in February. But anyway, the good news is that The Bachelor is back. So this is season 29. Wow. So Grant Ellis is the Bachelor this season. We met him precisely from Jen's season of The Bachelorette. He is 31 years old and he's from Houston, Texas. Let's give it up to Texas, y'all. The best state. So we see him be around his family. He's breaking the news to his mom, his sister, his grandmother, and his father that he's going to be the Bachelor. His father has recovered from addiction. What I like to see, though, was that all of his family, like literally his mom, dad, grandmother, sister, were all so supportive of him, which is great to see. And you know what? It looked like they really seemed to think like this is going to be a successful journey for him. So having that support definitely, I think, means a lot to him. Grant says that growing up, his parents would argue a lot. Obviously, his father wasn't well, going through his addiction. He really didn't have the best example of love growing up, and he used basketball as sort of a coping mechanism. But it's great that despite not having the best example of love, he still believes in it and he wants it. So it's night one. Grant says he's super nervous, but he's excited. So he meets with Jesse. Jesse asks, what is he looking for? Grant says he's looking for a woman with a kind soul, someone who is looking for something serious, and someone who he can be on the same wavelength with. So without further ado, the limos begin to arrive. The very first woman to get down is Rose, 27. She does a little funny pun saying, will you accept this, Rose? Kind of funny. Obviously, I can't go through every single one of them because it was like 30, so we're just going to talk about the ones that I think are actually going to have some impact or kind of stood out. So next is, I think you pronounce her name Latia, 31, venture capitalist. She brings with her a basketball and she says that she's really bad at basketball. She is from Salt Lake City, Utah. But she was actually born in Hawaii. Her dad is a Hawaiian native. Unfortunately, he died when she was very young. Ugh, I hate that. But she has a big family and wants to start her own. Next is Janae, 28 years old, accounting coordinator. Then Parissa, 29, pediatric behavior analyst. When she gets down, she tells Grant how honest, loving, and fun he seems like. She says that she's here for him and can't wait to get to know him. Then Carolina, 28, a public relations producer. Now, as soon as she stepped out of the limo, you could see the fire she was bringing. She says, hola, que guapo. I said, oh, okay, Latina. She's Puerto Rican. She spoke Spanish. She spoke a whole thing to him in Spanish, and poor Grant didn't understand nothing. But she speaks English, obviously. She was just messing with him. Allie Joe, a 30-year-old boxer, she arrives there with a box of pizza. Now, if I was the Bachelor, you get a point for bringing me food, okay? Moving on with Dina. She's 31. She's an attorney. I did feel some sparks with her and Grant. She's from Chicago. Her parents are from Romania. She's one of 11 children, and I love the fact that she's an attorney, and she also lets him know what her ring size is. Radhika is also an attorney. She's Indian. She came in doing a Bollywood dance. A girl named Alicia came in with a genie lamp and said she wishes that her wish could be Grant. Another pun. Natalie brings with her a stone to take away his stress on his new adventure. Then this one was kind of interesting. So a girl comes in with a llama. Her name's Alex. She is from a farm in Canada. That was creative. This was a big animal to bring with you. Like, she literally brings this llama and brings the big ass llama inside the house. So everybody was like, whoa. Next is Juliana, 28, client service associate. She's Italian, and she brings with her a cannoli that both her and Grant bite the ends off at the same time. When the new ladies are walking in, they were shocked when they see this big llama in the living room. All right, so Chloe, 27, she's a model. I feel like she looks familiar. Like, she looks like someone, I just can't figure out who. So she's from Kansas, and she wears a red dress and the Wizard of Oz shoes to remind her that there's no place like home, even though she's here. I like her energy for sure. Bailey's 27, social media manager from Atlanta. She comes in asking to take a picture of her, and she wants him to take a picture of her. Then they take a selfie. She also took a photo when she got inside with all the other ladies, so I liked her spirit. Serafina came in with a gigantic cutout of Grant's head. So then they speed through a bunch of other women. Another notable one was Savannah, 27, wedding planner, which makes sense because she brings a wedding cake with her with bobbleheads of her and Grant on the tops. I like that one. Vicky, 28, works at like a bar club type of thing, and she brings one of those signs that they use at the clubs where like you write a message. Zoe came in with a t-shirt that she shot with one of those guns, like, you know, like when artists are like a concert or you want to shoot t-shirts to a crowd. It was one of those. And it's funny because the first one she shot to Grant, but then they start shooting about 4 or 5 extra t-shirts and they're landing inside the house. So it was funny seeing the girls get these shirts, and when they saw the shirts, it was Grant and some other woman in them. Chloe actually wore it. She wore the shirt. Let me tell you, seeing all the women in the mansion, I could see a lot of girls, but I could totally see the potential cattiness. I could see it from a mile away. So that was it. For some reason, it felt like less women than usual. I don't know if that's accurate, but the room didn't seem as full as I feel like I've seen with like the Bachelor / Bachelorette recently. Like, but that's good. That's a good thing. So Grant goes inside. He says that he couldn't have asked for a better group. He wants a wife, a family. He's here for love, and he says that he wants to propose a question to them. What does love look like to them? He says that to him, love is about the little things. A flower, a kiss, a hug, a conversation after a long day at work. And he really appreciates a woman's strength, like he learned from his mother. The first one to steal him is Bailey. She asks him if he likes her bob, and he says he likes it. And it's funny because she brought him one too, so he wears the wig, and that was funny. She then tells him about her siblings, where she lives, what she likes to do. She's open to moving, which is an important thing to know. They keep taking selfies. I definitely think she was letting her fun side come out. Parissa. I don't get good vibes from her. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I know I just met her. But I feel weird vibes. She shows him some weird PowerPoint. I was like, what is this? With AI pictures of them getting married and pregnant. Who does that? And she also has a cat, which I don't like. So yeah, I didn't like her energy at all. Inside, the girls are wondering who will get the first kiss. So then Grant talks to Alicia. She's 29 years old. She's an interior designer. And Grant, from the beginning, was very close to her, like, physically. So she says that her mother is an immigrant who worked very hard. She doesn't know her dad. I thought it was very nice. I thought she was very nice, and I think she's a good person, and I think Grant picked up on that too, and I think that might be why he was very into her, and they had a very sweet moment. So they're talking about, like, oh, what it would be like to spend the day together and watching a movie, and he says, what kind of movie? And she says, a funny one, like a rom-com, and he says, well, what about The Notebook? And Grant's like, I love The Notebook, and she says, oh, you're such a softie. He's like, yes, I am. So then she starts to say, I'm a bird, you're a bird. And he says, what do you want? Which are both quotes from the movie. And in that moment, he just grabs her and kisses her. That was one of the best first kisses I've seen on The Bachelor. It was just very sweet, and it happened pretty naturally. And all the girls are seeing it, of course. And you know what makes it funnier is that Alicia, before this, had said to the other girls that she would not kiss him in the first night. But to be fair, he is the one that definitely went in. So Juliana, the Italian girl, she can play the piano, and she plays a little for him. That was impressive. She's from Massachusetts, and she talks a little bit about her past. So she dated someone who cheated on her, and she says that her parents were very important during that time for her to get over it. So she's telling Grant that she's all about love and family, and Grant says he definitely has his eyes on her, and they kiss as well. Okay, okay. So he talks to Carolina. This time she's speaking English, and they're talking about family. Grant talks about his mom a little bit more, then Carolina also talks about her family. She does say that her siblings are all very much older than her, and she realizes that her parents are much older, so she cries a little about the fear of them dying. I'm gonna be honest, I think the crying is a bit too much on the first conversation. Is that bad for me to say? I just thought it was like, this is the first conversation I'm having with you and you're crying. I mean, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to be rude, but ugh. Grant wanted to kiss her, but the mood was kind of down, so he didn't. So he has other conversations that they kind of speed through, playing basketball with one of them. He then talks to Dina, and as he's talking to Dina, all of a sudden a limo pulls up. A woman comes out, she walks straight into the house, ignores everybody that's already there, goes directly to Grant, and everybody is like, who the hell is this? She interrupts Dina. Grant seemed to know her, and everyone's kind of scared, like, is this an ex-girlfriend? Like, who is this? So Grant takes them all inside, and he introduces his sister. So they all calm down. But she is there just for a bit. She starts to show them all pictures of Grant when he was a baby, when he was little. She then says that Grant is not here to get engaged. He's here for much more than that. She really was being supportive and says that he really deserves it. So I thought that was really nice for her to go. The sister also talks to some of the ladies about Grant's previous relationships and other things, kind of surface level. And of course, they want to get her approval a little bit as well. Taylor, his sister, says that she's got some pretty good vibes from many of the women. Latia talks to Grant about his cars and whatnot, but then she lets him know that one of the things that she really likes about him is how in touch with his emotions he is, and how he isn't afraid to be vulnerable. And they kiss as well. Jesse then arrives with the first impression rose as per usual, but there's going to be a new twist this time. Of course, if you get the first impression, you're safe for the night, you're going to stay here for the week, but you will also be the one who gets the first one-on-one date. So a lot of pressure. Alex, the llama girl, goes to talk to Grant. He says that he really likes her energy. He says, you can talk, I can listen. And she's all over the place, but like in a good way. She's a speech therapist for kids, so she has a few flashcards that she brought to teach Grant how to speak French. Just a few expressions, and the expressions were related to the show, like, will you accept this rose? Can I have a kiss in French? And she does end up getting her kiss for real. The ladies are definitely trying hard to make their first impression because they want that one-on-one. Grant is having a conversation with Zoe, and then Savannah, the girl that brought the cake, I guess she hadn't had an opportunity to talk to him, so she decides that it's time to go talk to him. She takes the big cake, but it's the craziest scenario because as she's walking out, the first thing she sees is Grant kissing Zoe. So I'm guessing she didn't go because after that they didn't show anything else. Natalie is a PhD student. She says that she works with kids and she helps them try to navigate through anxiety and stress. So she tells Grant that they should do a breathing exercise together. It's taking a deep breath. She calls it smell the flowers, like inhale in and then blow out the birthday candles. So that was nice. Rose, I liked what she did. So she brought some clay with her, which I thought was pretty cool. She does blindfold him and herself, and I wish they would have had like the wheel. But they're doing their clay as they're talking, so that she's saying that she really wants someone to love her as she loves people, and he then says that he really does like her, and he says, I want you to keep your blindfold on. He takes his off, and then he kisses her. I thought that was a sweet moment too. Then Grant decides who to give the first impression rose to. It's always awkward when the person goes to grab the rose and everyone is sitting there watching. So Grant grabs the rose and it goes to Alex, the girl with the llama. Grant says that he can tell that she's funny, smart, intelligent, and a good time. And she accepts the rose, so the first one-on-one will go to her. But it doesn't end here. still the rose ceremony, number one. So, without further ado, he begins to give the roses to Latia, Rose, Zoe, Elle, Allie Jo, Natalie, Juliana, Vicky, Carolina, Beverly, Bailey, Chloe, Dina, Rebecca, Serafina, Alicia, and finally, the last rose goes to Parissa. That one surprised me. Parissa, the weird PowerPoint girl over Janae. Okay. So Janae, Savannah, and 4 others left. Janae, a girl named Christina, and a girl named Kylie, which I thought Kylie was very pretty. Those 3 seem to be the ones that took it the worst, and I get it. I mean, being kicked out of the first night is pretty upsetting, and I honestly do wish them well. So that was the end of week 1. Listen, I usually don't like the first episodes because I find them so boring, but I actually kind of enjoyed this one. I enjoyed episode 1 of The Bachelor. Now, let me tell you about that trailer that we saw. Drama in the house. Drama is going to be full. Oh my god, I can. This is going to be a good season, y'all. And it looks like Grant, literally, in the final hour, is still going to have doubts on who to pick because there's going to be 2 women who he can't seem to choose one of them. So I'm going to look forward to this season. I really am. I thought it was great. Let me know what your first impressions were of the season, of the episode. What were your thoughts? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.